pick these bow by the flavor. They don't sneak cause I pay my neighbors. Purple trees and yellow. Touch my cup of hell, they label. $100,000 in jury. Before I snitch, I get judged by jury. Wife got me ice, your bullshit jewelry. Got your shit blurry. You can keep me so no internet with it. Not my only security. He told everybody we beef, so when he die, he got security. 500 bows ain't shit. Every 2 weeks I tell him send a new load. 500K ain't shit. When I get a million, it's my new goal. I can teach you niggas a thing or two. You a pussy, so ain't no saving. I remember I used to walk through the play and I pull up, serving my save.
Hey, back at it again one more time this week for the season. You know what I'm saying? It's week 15. It's your man Benny B back at you, trying to get these W's together for you for the holiday season. You know what I'm saying? Last week was an interesting week. The races got tight out there. You know what I'm saying? We came close but no cigar weeks. You know what I'm saying? One missed a lot of parlays by one. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them, but you need all of them. You need all of them to get them. You can't get most of them. You need all of them. You know. So we back at it. We back at it one more time. The games look interesting this week. It's gonna be tough to call. So you're gonna see on the big board. It's teams we ain't used to pin, but you gotta adjust to the season. You know what I'm saying? You gotta adjust to the season, what it's doing. As you can see from our recap board last week, we was close. We was close out there. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys could have took care of business once again. They couldn't take care of business on Thursday. Can't get that Thursday game going, but everything else cashed on that one. And as you can see on the last one, the Buccaneers, they took that loss to the Saints. It's another close one. And also on the touchdown score prop, we needed Derrick Henry getting that end zone to finish that off. On the other side, you know what I'm saying, on the underside, as you can see, my man from the streets, came within 2 points. He came within 2 points of putting us on the W board. Got me again. It was 3-2 out there, putting the season record at 8-3-3 for our little bet going. I'm running out of time on that bet, but it's still plenty of time on our bets. So you know what I'm saying. It's plenty of regular season games, playoffs. It's some college football going on. Everything is set out there, so now I'll be working on that in the coming weeks. But for now, you know what I'm saying. Week 15 is crunch time. We got 4 games left. It's no more buys. You know what I'm saying. It's gonna be tight on the board. Ain't no more buys going down. Try to fit that in for you. Just, just for a minute. Just take a look at that real quick before we get into it. You know what I'm saying? Thursday is going to be an interesting matchup. Thursday finally got a matchup that we got confidence in on Thursday night for the first time in a long time. It's going to be the Falcons on the road taking on the Buccaneers. Both teams struggling right now. Tampa Bay, though, is getting some of their weapons back. They're getting Mike Evans back and McMillan, who hasn't played all season. They both will be back, giving them their full complement of receivers. And they're at home. You know what I'm saying? They took a big loss last week. To mess our parlay up. We're looking for them to get back against the Falcons. Kirk Cousins going forward will be the quarterback. There'll be no Drake London out there, and possibly no Kyle Pitts either. So I'm looking for the Buccaneers to win this one at home. I'm looking for them to get us on the board out there. We're going with the Buccaneers this week. We'll take them on the money line just to be safe. But if you want to, be more risky, you can take them with them points. 5.5 is the number. But yeah, our next matchup will be a crucial matchup for the Bears. Bears went from first and dropped tremendously. They dropped off basically they went from first to seventh. They almost dropped out of the playoff picture altogether. The Browns still not in the playoff picture. Took a loss last week. I'm still working with Shedeur Sanders out there. Bears gonna try to get back in the W column this week. I definitely see them doing it. Like I said, they just had the number 1 seed last week, but couldn't get it done in Green Bay. And the Browns, they have a great D. Browns have a top 10 D out there with Myles Garrett and those guys, Denzel Ward and those guys. Just can't put it together on the offensive side quite yet. Have a lot of rookies right now, and so they're just going to be gaining experience. Look for the Bears to win this one at home and in a low-scoring matchup. The Ravens and the Bengals. Interesting matchup here. The Bengals took a crucial loss last week. I mean, they didn't have much of a playoff chance in the first place, and high-scoring game. Bills ended up pulling out at the end after having a tremendous lead. And the Ravens are back out of their division lead after taking a loss to the Steelers last week. Ravens slight favorite in this game. It's a divisional matchup. Joe Burrow seems deflated. Yet another season. This time they started off. He got injured and they couldn't recover. But the Ravens also looks like they're in the lost season, but they have a much better chance to make the playoffs. Just have to overtake Pittsburgh. They still have a game to play with Pittsburgh, and it's going to be an interesting matchup. I like the Bengals here. I like the Bengals on the upset just because they want to ruin the Ravens' chances even further. Lamar Jackson is actually playing hurt right now. Is a handful of other quarterbacks, and so you're not actually seeing him at his best in any way. And they're on the road, and it will be cold. It's not good for injuries. So I'd take the Bengals here on the money line. All right, our next matchup will be Chargers and Chiefs, second place team in the West versus the third place team in the West. Chiefs just can't seem to get it together. Took another L. Chargers got a big win on Monday night last week, taking care of the Eagles. Now they'll be playing for that second place. Looks like it because the Broncos looks like they're gonna run away with the division. So this is basically the Chiefs' last chance. Like I said last week, they need to win 4 out of 5, possibly all 5. They definitely need to win all 4. If they lose one more time, they will be eliminated, and they will be. I mean, that dynasty. It's the way it's going to come to an end. I mean, the Chargers been playing tough. Herb is one of those quarterbacks who's been playing hurt, but he did just enough on Monday night to pull off that win. I see the Chiefs. I'm going to go with the Chiefs one more again. I'm going to take them one more time. We're going to go down with the ship. They won us a lot of money, so we got to go down with the ship. If they go down, I'm taking the Chiefs at home. Taking straight money line on that one. All right, AFC East matchup would be the Bills and the Patriots. Bills, Patriots. Patriots won the first matchup in Buffalo. Now they're going to New England. The Bills are favored in this game. Patriots with the best record in the league. Statistically, it's the Broncos. They both have identical records. I just believe the Patriots, by virtue of tiebreakers, Denver has the number 1 seed. Patriots are number 2. But as you know, Denver's played several close games this year. Patriots have been beating the hell out of teams all year long, and that's been good for the betting. The Bills, they got a crucial win last week. They had a must-win game last week versus the Bengals, and they looking to keep it going with Josh Allen and those guys looking to make that deep playoff run. It's going to be. I look for a close game. I do see the Patriots pulling this out. We're gonna go with the new guys. So we're gonna make some adjustments on the board. And yeah, we're taking the Patriots. We like what the Patriots been doing. Like I said, they've been covering every spread, and they're actually underdogs in this matchup. So I like them on the plus money. All right, and next matchup, Commanders versus the New York Football Giants out there. Giants Commanders. Commanders won first matchup, which is the only reason they have any wins in the conference. They have 1 win in the conference, and it's versus the Giants, who are the worst record in the conference. One is 1-7, one is 1-8. They'll be playing in New York, and it won't be an interesting game because neither one are going to make the playoffs. More for draft positioning at this point. Jaden Daniels will not be playing after re-aggravating his injury. Jackson Dart will be playing after being injured for a couple of weeks and now been playing again for a couple of weeks. He has his weapons out there. It looks like him and Wan'Dale Robinson have a good connection going. They got the running game as good as it can be with the injuries sustained on the offensive side of the ball. The Commanders should have their full complement of receivers. Might not make much of a difference. They were the only team not to score a point last week. I do see them actually scoring a point this week. I don't see them winning the game. I would take the Giants to even that series up for this season. Get the Commanders a shot at the top 3 draft pick next year. Next matchup would be Raiders-Eagles. Raiders-Eagles, AFC, NFC matchups always been interesting matchup throughout the years. Some interesting scores, which is probably why the spread is what it is. This week I have 4 double-digit spreads, and I didn't pick any of them because, as you know, like I said, I stay away from those because those could go either way. They're just trying to get the win. There's no points for as much as you win by. The Raiders have been struggling mightily all year. Will continue to struggle. They have some promising rookies of their own. Probably need a new quarterback and a new coach next year. Kickstart what they got going out there. The Eagles are fading late in the season, as they've done every year except for last year when they actually broke through and made the playoffs. This has been a concerning trend going on with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles the past few years. I did not bet on this game, like I said, but I would take the Raiders to cover the spread. I think the Eagles will win this game, but I don't think they'll win by that many points. All right, our next matchup. It's another double-digit spread. Jets and Jaguars, two teams going in totally different directions. Jaguars actually looking to take the South. They're in first place in the South right now. Colts have been struggling mightily, and after 8-2 start, they've lost 3 games and went from first in the conference, and they're actually out of the playoffs at this point, which is as tight as you can see how the race is tightening up. The Jaguars right ahead of Houston, and that'll be an interesting race down the stretch. Most people like Houston to get it. I'm one of those guys. I do like Jaguars to win this game, however, and I, I mean the Jets. I absolutely wouldn't bet on this game, but I would take the Jaguars just because they're at home and the Jets don't usually score a lot of points and they don't usually cover a lot of spreads. But that's a game I stay away from for the week. Next, on to the other side. Next matchup will be the Cardinals versus the Texans. Cardinals got a big win to get close to the Jaguars at the top of that division. The Cardinals took another loss, shut Kyler Murray down for the season. Like I said, the guy that got backing him up he's got some bright spots, but it's the reason he's a backup. He's only good for a couple games, not really a starting quarterback in this league. And but it's done some interesting things. This is a spread that I took is just barely under double digits. I went on ahead and took the Texans because the Texans seem to be putting it together at the end of the year as you're supposed to do. Well, at this time of the year, you're supposed to get that type of chemistry rolling and get those players together. The running game has improved. Woody Marks is finding his stride in the offense, and for C.J. Stroud's also been looking good as of late. Finding Nico Collins is always a good connection. I like the Texans, and I'm going to take the Texans to cover that 9.5. All right, this leads us to our next big matchup of the week. It is the Packers. It is the Broncos. Like I said, Broncos currently by tiebreakers and stripped the schedule, all type of little tiebreakers are ahead of the Patriots slightly. Both have the same record, only 2 losses on the year. The Packers, big win last week, taking care of the Bears, and looking to take care of the Broncos on the road. Like I said, Broncos don't cover many spreads. They didn't cover last week. They didn't cover the week before. They didn't cover the week before that. All of them is resulting in W's as they usually pull off the win late in the fourth quarter. The Packers are trying to get themselves ready for their playoff push. They're trying to stay on top. They're currently second in that division. We're trying to get on top of that division with the loss by the Bears and the win by the Packers. That is what will happen. I don't, however, see them getting this win. I see the Broncos continuing to keep these games close and pull it out in the fourth quarter. That's what they've been doing all year. I'm not going to go away from that. And I'm going to take the Broncos on the plus money. All right, our next matchup will be the Lions versus the Rams. Should be a high-scoring matchup and one of the warm weather matchups of the week because there ain't many of them. Is what I'm telling you. I mean, y'all know it, and just like I know it. Here we go. This is the matchup of the big quarterback swap. Jared Goff led the Rams to the Super Bowl. Didn't do much in that Super Bowl. One of the lowest-scoring Super Bowls. Lost to Tom Brady. No shame in that. Got traded to Matthew Stafford, was Midland in Detroit, had a couple of decent seasons, never really put too much together. Swap teams now, the Rams, look back, they the only team besides Kansas City that actually won, they're the only team that played a team besides Kansas City in the last 5 or 6 Super Bowls, and they actually beat Cincinnati in that Super Bowl. And the Lions, Lions have gotten better. I mean, they've gotten better. I would say they're better now with Jared Goff than they were with Stafford, but they still still haven't been able to get close to a Super Bowl. It's going to be an interesting matchup. It's a whole lot of side stories in this matchup. It's going to, like I said, they're going to score a lot of points. They got two of the best receivers out there in the league going against each other. Two pretty great running games. Like the defenses on both sides, both of them could be playoff teams. Rams, most sure, will be a playoff team. Lions might be iffy. The way it's looking like you got to get the 11 wins. So they're gonna need to win this game, but I don't see it happening. I see the Rams winning at home and continuing to have that number one seed in the conference that they just took last week. All right, our next matchup was interesting spread for me. It's the Panthers and the Saints. Usually, Panthers and the Saints would be a game I stay away from because I know both of them weren't that great, especially Panthers on the road. But the Panthers have been decent. Panthers are actually tied for first place, and they have a better conference record than Tampa Bay, so they actually should be first. I don't know what metric they're using to put Tampa Bay in first. It's usually by division and then by conference, and they haven't played each other, which is why it was sorted out in the next couple of weeks. They play each other twice. But the Saints got a big win against Tampa Bay last week, and that's probably why they think that rookie Slow might be actually decent. He looks better than Spencer Rattler, but I don't see him putting together two straight wins. I'm going to go ahead and take the Panthers. I'm going to take the Panthers on the spread and on the money line. You know what I'm saying? I mean, why not? They've been winning. They're above 500 at this point in the season. And, look for them to stay close to possibly a division title, maybe the playoff, maybe we'll see. It's going to be an interesting team to watch down the stretch, which I did not see at the beginning of the season. All right, next matchup will be Titans-Niners. Titans and Niners. Titans got a crucial win last week against Cleveland in the battle of young rookies in Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward. And the Niners also got a win pretty easily last week. And as you see about the spread, the bookie thinks it's going to be another pretty easy win. Niners trying to get the number one in the conference, trying to get the number one in their division. There's tight race. Them Seattle and the Rams been tight all the way through. All three look like they're going to make the playoffs. Don't see the Niners having a problem in this matchup. Although the Titans do play teams tough, as I was saying, the Titans do not roll over and lay down for anybody, which is why hopefully they'll be a contender soon. They get some more offensive weapons and upgrade the weapons that they have. Like I said, I didn't take any double digit spreads, but of course I like the Niners to win. But I would take the Titans to cover because the Titans, like I said, they're tough. They play teams tough, and they should stay within that number. All right, our next matchup, it will be the Colts and the Seahawks. Wow. Well, have the mighty have fallen. This is something right here. The Colts, everybody at the end of the week, the first 10 games, they were like the Colts are going to the Super Bowl, they at least going to the championship. Right now, at 8-5, the Colts do not have a record to make the playoffs in the AFC. They're actually in the 8th spot on the outside looking in. The Seahawks have been doing pretty decent all year. Sam Darnold's been leading them like he did the Vikings last year. I mean, making the throws he's supposed to make, finding his star receiver out there several times a game. He's doing everything he's supposed to do out there. We just got to see what he's going to do once we get to the playoffs. It wasn't much last season. They look definitely like they're headed to the playoffs. Like I said, it's one of those three teams in the West that are most likely going to make it. In the NFC, you most likely at least need 11 games to make the playoffs, maybe even 12. This is how tight it's getting at the end, and of course with the extra game. So I would, of course, another double-digit spread. I didn't take it. I would take the Seahawks. The Vikings had an impressive 31-0 showing against the Commanders, but the Commanders, aren't that good, and they make a lot of mistakes on both sides of the ball. The coaches, and this is a totally different team they're playing. I look for the Vikings to put up some points. J.J. McCarthy did look good. It's good to see that he looks good against teams that are not that good. We're going to see what he does against a real team, but I do see the Seahawks comfortably winning this game and covering that spread. This leads us to no, that's let's see, Hood Money. The Hood Money. We was talking about Seahawks and Colts that jumped to the Vikings. Well, the Seahawks still will cover the spread. We got Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers is the story with the Colts this week. Phillip Rivers is possibly going to be on the field. He probably will get some snaps, and he might take over out there. The rookie from Notre Dame is gone for he has some stomach issues. He's not going to probably play. He may play, he may not play, and then they have practice squad guys that might elevate. But look for Phillip Rivers to be as clear. Like I said, the board is tight this week. His team's getting jammed up. But still look for the Seahawks to take this one by 13.5, which leads us to the Sunday night matchup, which is the Vikings and the Cowboys. Vikings, Cowboys took a loss last week to further hurt their playoff chances, and the Vikings with that impressive 31-0 win. Only team that held a team with no points. They've always had a pretty good defense. It's just been on the offensive side, finding that quarterback. J.J. McCarthy looked good last week, finding his tight end several times for several scores. Still, Justin Jefferson didn't get in the end zone for us on the props, but with the way the score was looking, they apparently didn't need it. The Cowboys still have a sliver of playoff hopes. If, like I said, the Eagles collapse at the end, they might actually can sneak in there, but I don't see it happening. But as long as they have hope, know that the Cowboys fans will be loud and they will be ready and they will be looking for a W, which is what I see. I see the Cowboys getting that W. I see them covering the spread and winning on the money line, which takes us to the Miami Dolphins Steelers game, which is one of my, like I said, the primetime matchups are good to go this week. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The Buccaneers look good to go, and the Steelers look good to go. Both at home, both with big advantages. Biggest advantage the Steelers have is that they're playing at night in the cold in Pittsburgh. Miami does not like to play in the cold at all. They never win in the cold. They're just not used to it. With the weather, they can never adjust to the cold, and especially severely cold temperatures, which is you want to look for in Pittsburgh. Like I said, it's been early February weather around here. So I look for the Dolphins to break down. The Steelers, like I said, they got a crucial win last week. They'll possibly need to finish 9-8 to win the division. If they do finish 8-9, they will possibly miss the playoffs and lose out on the division. But there is a scenario that they make it at 8-9 and possibly 7-10 with all the tiebreakers. But for this game, I'm going to take them. I'm going to take them both on the spread, both on the money line, to continue doing what they do to Miami and other teams do to Miami in cold weather. All right, here we go. It's time for the parlays and the props and over-unders and all the things to get us the W's, to keep the W's rolling as we continue to try to get towards 40, and it's still open for us right now. Parlay 1, Buccaneers money line, Panthers spread, Chiefs money line, and Steelers money line. I heard Parlay 2, it's Patriots money line, Broncos money line, Giants spread, and Cowboys on the money line. All right, here we go. We got the Rams on the money line. We got the Bears on the money line. We got the Chargers with the spread, and we took the Texans to cover that pretty large spread. And for Parlay 4, we took the Bears once again on the money line. We went on ahead and we took the Panthers on the money line this time just to be safe. And then we added the Bengals with that plus money bet to go with the Steelers on the money line. Steelers should get it done. That's why I got it a couple times. Prop scoring bets last week we got close. We just missed it by one. Just missed it by Henry, so we left him off this week. We went with Adams once again. Feel like he will get one. Cook. We got Saquon. We got Christian McCaffrey. The next parlay went Amon-Ra St. Brown. We got Williams from the Cowboys, Javonte Williams, is Nico Collins, and then Chase Brown. Chase Brown with Cincinnati. Get in there one time. For the over-unders, you know, we did. My man from the streets, he gave us some extras right there. He gave us some extras, so I'm gonna have to match his extras. He came with all unders too. Unders on Washington Giants, unders on Indy and Seattle, under on Baltimore and Cincinnati, under on the Bills, New England, and under on Green Bay and Denver. And for me, I went under with the Jets and Jacksonville. I went over with the Rams in Detroit. I went over with Dallas and Minnesota, and under with Pittsburgh and Miami. And so since I do have to match, just for the board, that I gotta match them. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take that Niners matchup right there to go under the total for my fifth. So I'll put that on the board. That'll be my fifth one. So match them up so we can keep we got going. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how we do it. Even though he should be betting 5 and me 4 the way them the way them parlays. He already up 5 parlays. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't worried about it. We keep picking them. We're gonna have some. You can't win if you don't play. You know what I'm saying? So get your picks in, get them ready. Thursday night football is closing in, and yeah, let's get this money. Heck yeah, all day, every day.